I don't know, hopefully that's streaming. I just have no idea, because it's just bad. And the desk that I got new monitors, not so, I can't remember if I said it in a previous video or not, because I've had them for a fair bit of time. But I've got two 32-inch curved monitors, and they're great. They're great. But the desk I have is just a really short desk. Like the width of the monitor is actually over 2/3 the width, probably 3/4 the width of the desk. So I've got this small desk, um, and the problem is when you try and rest two monitors on it, it's not too bad. I can put two monitors on, but if I do, one's very to the left and overhangs over the left-hand side, and one's to the right. Um, Now, some people may say get a bigger desk. Well, where the desk currently is, I can't fit a bigger desk. And some people may say get smaller monitors. Well, you know, I like these monitors. Like the smaller monitors are hard, we're okay, but I'm struggling to see now. And when I'm programming, having two monitors, AFK there, having two monitors is great. Having all that extra space, you just can see, and it's great. When you're gaming, you want the main monitor central, and the problem with that is when you do that, I can move it. The other one, I can't see all of it. I can only see like a half or a little less than a half. So if I put something else on that other screen, I have to like shrink it. I have to treat it almost like it's a vertical monitor and shrink shit down, like Windows, because I physically can't see the half because it's like behind the monitor I've put in the center. So I can't put the stream on one side and then play the game on the other unless I like jiggle my monitors around in a way that I don't want to. So it's first world problems, but it's annoying. But anyway, yeah, Pixelmon. So I played Gaming Pixelmon. Um, yeah, I've tried playing Skyblock, not on this server, on some other servers, and I wasn't a really big fan of it. I want to try on this server, but the thing is, you need a different version of Minecraft because yeah. Now maybe I've missed something. I don't know, but it's like right now, if I go up to Skyblock here and I'm a player, your account is outdated. Consider updating to a more recent version of Minecraft because you need to be on 1.18.2 to play that, right? But the problem is if I update it to play that, I can't play these ones because I have to be on an older version to play these. So I don't. You know what I mean? So I can't switch. I can't go on like Pixelmon and then go, I fancy playing a bit of Skyblock. Unless like I said, like maybe I got something wrong, but that's my current understanding of it. Oh shit. I was recently quite ill. Um, a fair few things, so I'm still trying to get back to former health. Anyway, let's pick Inferno because that's the server I play on generally. So it's pretty quiet right now. Normally there's like 70, 80 people on. So yeah. Let's put my rec. Let me just put my shit away real quick. So I'll just put, I don't know, I'll just put feathers in the air. Moonstone goes in the evolutionary items. Potions in there. Balls in there. /BP. I'll just put my diamond shield in there for now. Yeah, put this paint in somewhere. Maybe in here is a good idea. Maybe not. It's not a good size. This is an odd room. Because this is like an even shaped thing. I don't know. So this is my apricot farm for, well, farming apricons. Nothing that spectacular. If you've played Pixelmon, then I guess this will be fairly obvious. But if you haven't, then I guess it won't be. And if you're wondering why you get a big FPS drop there, it's because I've got loads of iron frames over here and they just lag the game. Because I want to fill all these with... I'm not finished this yet. But this is like a vault I want to fill with like chests and chests of, well, these over here. Because basically these are heavy balls, right? And each chest is worth about 800 and a bit K. So, yeah, I could put these in here, I guess. Perhaps. I think I've got a Pokemon photos actually. / e chest. Yeah, we'll do an Arceus. Oh, that knocks that shit off if you. That's an unintended consequence. I guess I could just put it here or something. But yeah, so Pixelmon, you catch Pokemon on that. And that's pretty much it, I guess. Battle Poke, stuff like that, breed. Just like a normal Pokemon game, really. Oh, this is supposed to be. Right now, there's some Pokemon you simply can't get because of just because there's no end. You have the Nether and the End, and Ultra Space or whatever, and that's where you can catch certain types of Poke, especially like Ultra Beasts. But because the End is currently unavailable, you can't catch Ultra Beasts. So nobody on the server right now is actually it's impossible currently. No matter how much in-game money or real money you have or whatever, it is impossible to finish your decks right now. And if a game is impossible, that's called bad game design. They basically released Fallout 76. And it's a shame because the last time I played, the server resets like basically about once every year, I'd say. There's no exact day, so it doesn't start January 1st and end the next like December 31st, because that'd make too much logic, right? That'd make too much sense. No, there's no scheduling like that. Or at least as far as I'm aware, they just pick a day. They go, right, well, we think we'll reset it about now, and that's it. That's just what they do. So that's just pretty dodgy, pretty annoying. They just ban certain items. Some things make sense. So when they've got a reason for it, I'm all for it. So like they ban shulker boxes, for example, and hoppers and things to prevent duping or lag or whatever. Like pistons and stuff, you can dupe and it also can cause a lot of lag if you have a lot of pistons in a server. So there's reasons for that. So I understand that and I respect that. But some things they ban, you just look at it and go, why have they banned that? Like there's an item, I can't remember which item. I think it's I've got one. I think. If I do, it'll be like in here, I think. Yeah, this here. So this Ragnarok Silver Lens, if I use this on a Pokemon, I'm not going there because it's the only I've only got one. But yeah, if you get one of these, all it does, right, is well, I think you can actually like hover over it. Look, and now that shows the ability in nature. I use in general a Pokemon. You right click the Pokemon with the item in hand. It can be used 1 time. There's a gold one as well that I think it can be used 3 times or 5 times or something. And that's the only other one I had. And the problem is all it does is show information about a Pokemon before you catch it. So you can do this on a Pokemon before you catch it, and then find out basically if it's worth catching or not. That's all it does. It's a really minor thing. It's not overpowered because you could just catch it anyway with an Ultra Ball or something and find out for yourself. So it's not in any way overpowered, but for some reason it's banned. Now I don't really care for this particular item, but there are other items where I do care about it. So, for example, the Infuser. There's a Pixelmon item called the Infuser. So let's just go back into here. So if we, let's say we do Kamala coffee. So originally I wanted to make this. I made a coffee bean farm because I wanted to make Kamala coffee. If I, okay, you're supposed to be able to right click. It's supposed to tell you, but okay. Well, anyway, we'll just find the Infuser. So here you got the Infuser, and this is what you can use to make Kamala coffee. Basically, you get water and cocoa beans, infuse it, and you make Kamala coffee. And there's other drinks you can make, but it's a tool to make drinks. That's all it is. Okay, it's not overpowered. And here's the shit to make it. Okay. Now keep that in mind. If I go ahead and come in here because I wanted to make some of these, I remember doing it, and I get all this stuff, however, and you see it doesn't appear in there. But if I do this, it doesn't even let me do that. That's annoying. But anyway, glass bottle, so amethyst, glass bottle. We can work it out. / workbench. Actually, no, it does pop it in there. Infuser. But you can't get that shit. Look, and it says infuser is banned in the bottom left. So you see what I mean? It's a freaking scam, and all it does is make fucking coffee. It's just stupid. It's like that, and instead of them taking a little tiny bit of time to go, I will nerf it. So let's say they think you can obtain too much money from it, or some things are too easy to craft. Instead of making the crafting mess a bit more difficult, which takes like, I'm assuming 5 minutes, or like just reduce the value of how much you get per item or something. Again, it's changing a number. It's not an arduous thing to change, really. I imagine not. I'm not a Java person, right? But if I was making I have programming knowledge in other programming languages, and it's not arduous in that. So I imagine it's not arduous to change a fucking integer. So yeah, it's just annoying that you spend all, and there's nowhere on this server where they have a list of banned items. There's nowhere on this server it tells you it resets either. Like that's only word of mouth. Like if you go into the store, if you're a new player, and this happened to me, because but if you go to the store and you buy something, at no point does it say this is a permanent purchase, this is a temporary purchase, nothing like that. If you buy a rank, that's permanent and persistent through resets. If you buy a item, let's say you buy a key for a chest or something, that's not persistent. You get an item in this reset. The next reset, that's gone. So you're essentially buying something temporary, but they don't say that. Or at least they don't openly admit that. They may bear it in some terms and conditions somewhere, perhaps, but they don't openly tell you that. So yeah, it's just a bit shady. Why the fuck do you want to buy those? I feel pretty useless there. I never buy. I mean, just do enchants like normal Minecraft. Like buying enchants in this is so expensive. Like, it's just such a bad idea. So that's another thing that annoys me. The server's got a lot of bugs in it. Now some of those, like some things, it might be to do with like the Pixelmon mod itself, which the server's not really responsible for. But some things are just pretty bad. Like the actual server itself, like sometimes just doesn't come up, and it's a bit frustrating. The land claiming policy in this server completely and utterly backwards. I made that's a couple of other videos I made. I didn't publish them because I thought maybe I was being unfair or something. I don't know, but I think any logical person can get behind what I'm saying. So basically, in this, if you claim land, it's like, for example, this here is claimed by Len and MCM. So if I do /home Len, this is also his plat. See, look, Len MCM permission to interact with this plot because I don't have permission for this because this is just his API config. This is where he actually stores his stuff, which is fair. I've got my own little hut though, so this is my home or whatever. But same, to be honest. What the fuck? Hell yeah, I'll have these. Why is Greg grep about this? He's got like this whole blank bit. Anyway, I don't know why I'm like shitting all over somebody else's stuff, but actually I probably should like put these back, to be fair. That's roughly, it's close enough. But anyway, you saw that was claimed, and that's all good. Now, the problem I have is when people build shit and they don't claim it all. Now, if I go /home jungle M2, actually I'll do jungle M1 first, just for an extra laugh. So here, this one really pisses me off. So because you have a plat, okay, up here. Now this here, I placed that tree, that tree, that tree, that tree. Now, the only reason I had this jungle bit is just for like Mew catching. So that's why there's nothing in here. It's just a little square. Now if we go up here, bruh, was that before I TP'd? Because this is a plains biome. Wait, is it a Blacephalon? Sorry, Ultra Beast can only be spawned right now in raids, and that Blacephalon basically everyone's nutting over it. This shit annoys me as well when people like I didn't place that there. Or that. That's hilarious as well when you get somebody to build something for you. Like this is on the right hand side. Okay. Because like it encompasses the entire length. Whereas this they did it on this side. So there's this bit that you don't do. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, like, well, this thing only has a minor purpose. It's just so that you can line your shit up and then move across. Because the thing is, if you do this, and let's say you watch a YouTube video, like right now, I'm pressing W with my left hand, and I thought I got that up pretty straight, yeah. But as you can see, it's veering to the right, it's veering to the right, it's veering to the right. You know what I mean? And eventually, because this is really fucking long. Eventually, you'll fall off. I'm actually just gonna do it just because I want to see if it. So what this is for is to keep you straight and true. But yeah, so you get someone to build and they just do it wrong. And then the thing is, when you tell them, you don't. And I wasn't even mean about it. I was just saying because I left them to it. So I said on this, I want a thing on both sides, and I want it symmetrical. And this isn't symmetrical, and it's not on the right. It's not on the correct side. And I was just basically told them, like, well, I'm not doing it again. Didn't take it that criticism well at all. It wasn't, you know. And I didn't even jump to that. I just basically told him what he'd done wrong. I was like, it's not right. And then he just wasn't interested. I was like, okay, well, it's annoying. Now this is just some dude who said he was going to build a dialogue or whatever. It's just hilarious. And then you got, so I built this, and look, the dimensions match with the thing underneath. Well, it's even. This is here, that's all even. This is all done evenly. It's all just even and right and correct, and it works perfectly. Because, you know, that's how I build stuff. This I built, look, it's even. I measured it out so that the loot sign would fit perfectly and the door would be central and it'd all fit. I haven't done the upstairs yet because I just couldn't be bothered, but like, I don't have enough stuff to need it yet. But look, it's just even and nice. This bit, because I knew it was going to have something central, I made it an odd number. So it's just even and nice. This, I have somewhat planned, and I wanted it. This is something I built on the first reset. So it's just supposed to be a breeding tower. And he got this wrong to start with because he made this too wide. I was like, no, I told you what it is. No, I know what I'm doing. And he's done it all wrong. Like, so I did the glass here on this bit here. And I wanted this arch. It's like, oh yeah, I can mimic that. And then you go up here and he's just not done the same. Like, he's just left this gap. Which is a really minor thing though. That's being... But yeah, anyway, like I say, it's a really minor thing. But it's just... It just shows you why I'm so miserable about people, because you can't trust anyone to do anything proper like this. I had to rebuild because they did the ball bit on the bottom, not too bad. Like I wanted it so it was none of the yellow was showing. I did say that. Below he's clipped it, so it's just not quite right. But anyway, I could overlook that. At least he's done like. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. But... So he's done it where, because like when you see a bot, like if I go to my loot thing, right, and you put a ball in like an item frame, you can actually see like there's a fair amount of pixels, and there's like double, double, then single, 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 then double down, and then you know, and that's like a Minecraft circle, right? And that's what he's done here. Like he's done a long bit and a couple doubles, whatever, and then single, single, double, 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 and he's got the bottom circle. But then when you're going upwards, right, it did up long and then single, 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 and he got to about here, and then he's just going to do a flat bit, and that's what. And then he just went, oh yeah, that's done. And it's like, no, it's not. Because imagine if I did, right, let's say I threw a Pokemon, this is Eternatus. Look, it's just not right, is it? You know what I mean? It needs to be, and there's other Pokemon that are bigger and taller than that. You know, you need room to breathe. So, I just did this, like the sphere, up, single, single, long, long. And it's just annoying that you employ people. Like people offer it. I mean, like so it's not even me going out my way because I'm happy to build this. You get people coming to you and go, you know, I'll build you this for this, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, and then they just start and then they just do it all wrong, and you hear and you dare point it out because if you do, they just get screechy. And I even made a plan for the colours. Like the colours are on purpose, so like, you know, like you got dark type for black, steel, all that sort of thing, and then there's some colours I wasn't. We were running out of colours for the certain types of concrete, so we needed like extra colours. So like for ground and rock, we had some extra colours and basically just choose to. But the general idea is you can like we never use this block obviously because it doesn't really fit. But like you know, apart from like this one here and like this one here, yeah, they pretty much all have the dedicated block. And he missed the floor out, and he was like complaining that he had to redo it even though he made the mistake. It's just stupid. I don't even know who the fuck put that in there. So this is what I'm on about. People can come into your thing and just do what they want. Because anyone can interact with an item frame. So it's like one time I gave somebody permission to build, okay, and you're not allowed to steal. Like even if you give someone permission, you're not allowed to steal. And they stole the entire chest I had of keys, right? And I had to go through this arduous like staff process to get it back. And what's absolutely hilarious, I didn't even get everything back. That's hilarious already. But when I did get most of my stuff back, the guy got punished for 6 hours. Okay, he got a temp ban of 6 hours, only 6 hours, right? Which I think was pretty garbage for stealing as much as he did, because some of those, like in the store, cost a lot of money, like for actual real money. Now I didn't buy my real money because I've got the Supreme kits and stuff, but like, I'm just saying. So he got a peanut ban, but what's more or less is he got the ban for the period that he was offline. So he actually got absolutely zero punishment. He actually got rewarded because he got to keep some of the other stuff that I never managed to get back. So in this server, you get rewarded for breaking the rules. For some rules, if you're racist, you'll just get like an insta ban. But like if you steal stuff, you get rewarded for it. That's just hilarious to me. But yeah, back to the biggest, absolute, massive flaw with this server, and that is just the land claiming. So backwards and so incorrect. Because on this, right, it makes sense. Right, if you like in real life, okay, if you want some land, you have to have a certain quantity of money. Like, let's say you want to buy a house and the land that it contains, you have to have a certain amount of money to purchase that land. Yeah, and there's a reason for that, right? Because if you could just, if everyone just had infinite ability to claim infinite land, then it won't work because there's a finite amount of land on the planet. So that everyone can have their own little slice, right? There's monetary value that's placed upon it. That's why we have money to start with. Like there's only a finite amount of food, for example. So that one person doesn't get every single bit of food, everyone has a certain amount of money, so they can get a certain portion of the food, so that people get the bit that they need. So, resources are distributed somewhat fairly across people. Obviously, some people have more money, some people get more food and bigger houses and stuff. And that's just like what it should be on here. If you've made if you've got donation ranks, or you've voted more times, because if you vote for the server, you get vote keys, and claim blocks is one of the rewards within it. Okay, so if you vote more, therefore participate more, it's a reward. Okay, they make claim blocks a reward in vote crates, in kits and stuff that you get. If you do /kit list, there's a tokens, nice. There's a claim blocks kit. Okay. So it's supposedly a reward that you have to get every so often, and it's just like anything else. So the more you play, the more claim books you get, the more land you can have. It's progression. It's like how every single other game works, near enough. Okay, not every single game, but you know what I mean. Like 90% of games, progression is a big part of it. That's the whole point of game. It gives you that sense of progression. Because if you just get everything immediately, it doesn't work. And that's what I was trying to get through to one of the staff members on here, because he's trying to defend something that makes absolutely no sense. So the way the claiming actually works on this server is you are like, if I real quick, if I go to here. So where's the /rules? I can't remember where it is now. Oh yeah, is that just Discord rules? Or? Yeah, that is just Discord rules. Pixelmon rules, there we go. So there's loads in here, okay. But the one that I'm interested in right now is to do with certain other things. So some of these are just ignored. So that one there. Actually, we'll start with the top. All right. I'll just slash hub real quick, because you can get, as a staff, you're not really supposed to AFK. Okay. So, yeah. So use common sense. Don't disrupt other games. If you're unsure about it, make sure to ask a member of staff or whatever. So that's ambiguous, but you could get what that is. Character spam. That's just like if you spam loads in the chat or whatever. That's fairly obvious. That's just, because people might be saying swear, they might be being negative or something, or perhaps cheating. It makes it hard to manage something, because if people don't speak, because it means the staff, you have to have staff that know the languages, otherwise, you know what I mean? It's kind of important. So that's a lie. See, absolutely no profanity whatsoever, except words like shit and ass are not being used as an insult. So that's a bit of a, you see what I mean? Like, they've already put some in there. Only about using your IGN, that's fair, I guess. Understanding is not allowed, but it says selling to friends and clan at discounts is fine. See what I mean? So, and that's the problem, because you've got you've got a situation where you can basically claim everyone on the server as your friend, and then job done. So that the no underselling rule, because they put a clause in like that, it makes the rule invalid. You see what I mean? So it's just stupid. It is just stupid. And the PL, the /PL, is just completely outdated. So this rule here is completely and utterly completely stupid. I can see why it came about, because they, like, let's say you've got a new player, they don't want somebody to get scammed and feel bad and leave. Like, for any Minecraft server, player retention's a key thing. It's really important. Okay. So what they don't want is somebody to come on and get scammed. The problem is overselling is more of a problem than underselling. Because if they go, the problem is, the reason this is a prevention is, so let's say they catch a legendary Pokemon because it's beginner's luck or something like that. They get a cool item from voting, and then someone messages them and offers them half the price or something for that item or Pokemon. Then they kind of get scammed. And then later on, when they find out about it, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But it's way worse if they go on the GTS, which right now, if I go on the GTS right now, no, yeah. If I go in the GTS right now, it has no indication of value. Because if I go, you know, literally anything sort of average, if I do any everyday item, it should do the value. Oh, minimum price undetermined, whatever. I'm guessing because it's just a cheap item. But if I do like item 2, see? So it gives you an idea for price. So if you link a Pokemon, it does the same. Okay, well here there's probably somebody who's done a Pokemon. I don't know. So that's a good feature. Now the problem is on the GES you don't have that feature. So if I go /GES, so that says 108k. But you see, now that's a good price, but it doesn't actually say that if it's worth that or not. Like, how do you know if you say it doesn't say that what the recommended price is or the minimum price and then the actual price, and it doesn't say it on these either. Like, that says 650k, but that's not that great. Well, okay, it's got decent IVs, but like, how can you know? Like, if I go, that's normal. Okay, there's a guy called Alex who put an item on here a bit ago for an extortionate amount. Well, that Zygarde's really not worth that amount, really. You know, it's hard to know. That's the problem. Because there's just you know, so that it doesn't prevent people like that 90k for that, like really. So let's put those back up there. So that doesn't solve that problem. So yeah, this rule just doesn't work. So yeah, that one, that's fair, I guess. Play against traffic, that's fair. This happens all the time. No punishment's ever taken against these people, so people can beg all they want. That's just, I don't really care about that. Just travel there legit. Absolutely full. So that's I can see why that comes about because they lose money otherwise, but at the same time it's kind of retarded. Like if you because how do you then define that? So for example, let's say you lend an item to somebody like a pickaxe, say, and then because they're doing some building for you, and then you don't want it to break, so you ask them to give it you, you repair it with your command because they don't have that command, and then you give it back. Have you then used that command for them or for you? Because it's your item doing your work, but they're wielding it and they damaged it. See what I mean? I mean, I don't really care about that one, I guess, but you know. So this one's interesting because the permission, if you get verbal permission, they can reject it later at any time and get you to bugger off. So you know that's stupid. And also, if you get permission, like I've got permission, for example, to go and build next to Lennon's claim, but like later on he could just say, "Oh, I don't have permission anymore." So that's why it's annoying. If I play asks you to leave a claim, it doesn't always happen. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, the main rule that we want to be looking at is this one. So the set home one, we'll just ignore that bit for now because that's just to do stuff. But it says that other people's claims / homes. That bit's key because a home is defined by anything. It's defined by anything because a home, a people's claim or people's a home. A home is just any build. So as soon as somebody manipulates a block, that's counted as their build. So that can be defined by removing a block or placing a block. Okay? Which, you know, let's say you go into a mine, you place a crafting table to make a stone pickaxe, and iron pickaxe, whatever. You've now placed a block. You now have built something. And then that's counted as your build. So if somebody else comes near your crafting table, you can tell them to bugger off. Because you've got, even though you've only placed one block, right, then that you now have a 25 block perimeter in each direction. So you've got this, you know, if 25 is the radius, you've got like 50, so you know, you've got like a 50 by 50 radius. 50, sorry, yeah, like 50 by 50, like diameter, I mean, not radius, because it's 25. Which is 2,500 blocks for placing one block. I think I've got that right. 50 by 50. Yeah. 5 times 5 is 25, and then the 2 knots, so 2,500, yeah. So you now have... I must have got that right. That just feels like it's too big. No, yeah, that is correct, yeah. So, for 2,500, you've got 2,500 blocks. I really hope I have got that right. 50 by 50. Sorry, it's early in the morning, I'm having a brain fart. So 25 in each direction, plus the one in the middle. Just for argument's sake, we'll discount the one in the middle. Right, so 50 by 50 equals 2,500, yeah. I can't believe I had to check that. So you've now, after placing one crafting table, one block, you now technically own 2,500 blocks. Now, does that sound crazy? If it does, right, it's because it is. It's because it's fucking retarded. Now, the way this rule is supposed to work, and I can see how it's come about, is the idea is, let's say little Jimmy's built something. Right, let's take my farm, for example. My farm's a good example, okay? And I still have, like, a bit that's unclaimed, which I need... Oh, what do you mean you're already in a server queue? Have they restarted or something? So this is what I'm on about, it's buggy as fuck. What do you mean I'm already in a server queue? Oh my god. Just see, it's just buggy as fuck. Anyway. But this is, you know, I can see how it came about. Cause, like, this is a good example. Let's say I claimed this, you know, up until... Because originally it was shorter. So let's say I claimed it up until here, okay? And then I wanted to extend it, and I started extending it, but didn't think to claim it first. I can see that the rule is intended so that if somebody, let's say somebody comes here and starts stealing all my stuff and griefing it or whatever, that I can, you know, I can send a message or something and say, oh, you know, don't do that because it's my build, even though it's not claimed. So I can see that that is supposed to be the reason for it. But the problem is they've done it where it doesn't matter the context. So you can have somebody come on because the most sought after plat that like the biomes, I mean, is Jungle M and probably like Mesa as well, like Mesa Plateau or something like that. But Jungle M is really popular because of Mews. Mews are worth like 3 mil. And if you a Pokemon's going to spawn and you're in a Jungle M biome and it's a Mew, it's 3 mil. So it has inherent value having these sections of land. So what you end up getting is I should stay in it instead of just like keep disconnected. I just do that because I don't want to get like kicked for being AFK or something because staff means. But yeah, let's do the Jungle M2 one actually because I can't be fucked. So this here is Jungle M plat. Now I 3 times lawfully claimed some of this. But I got pushed away from it because this is counted as a build, apparently. This dirt shit. Okay. Now, and they can continue, so they can. They also own 25 blocks in each direction. So if you place something down there, they can just expand out. Which is nice. But they actually own more than that. That's even more hilarious. Because if let's say I build all the way over here, say, and I want to build here. Let's just say that's well over 25 blocks. I think it, well, this over here is definitely at least 25 blocks over because each chunk is 16. Yeah. This is the chunk grid, so that's 16 blocks, 32, and we're not even there. So it's easily enough. And I start building here. If he expands out, because apparently he has the right to expand out, and he goes up next to mine, even I built this here first, I have to move, according to how the rules work. It's not, he's 25 blocks away, and then he can build a bit further, and then as soon as he's within 25 blocks, he has to stop, which is how it should work, if assuming you're putting this 25 block rule in. No, that's not how that works. How it works is, I'll just get rid of this because it's distracting. That's not how that works. How it works is, whoever built the first block is then therefore or has the first claim is therefore allowed to continually expand out. Which, although this sounds like an extreme example, it's completely inaccurate, which is scary. It basically means that whoever, when you know how I described earlier on that the server gets wiped like once a year or roughly, okay, it means that whoever is the first person to log on to that first server wipe and place or like break the first block, technically has the potential to own the entire server, because every time they expand that from that block, they're expanding their claim. Everyone else has to push back their claims because they were there first. Now that sounds ridiculous, and it may come down to staff discretion, but currently that's the problem. The fact that it has to come down to somebody's discretion, somebody's opinion of it, it is a problem. It shouldn't have to come down like that. It's like if you go to a court of law and you're caught stealing or something or murdering, you either murdered or you didn't, and if you did, it's a problem. It's not, oh, you murdered but it's okay. You know, like if okay, that's a really bad example because I guess maybe if you killed like a burglar, maybe your life was threatened, perhaps having to kill somebody else is needed. If you've got somebody coming at you with a chainsaw and you have to like stab them or something in a or whatever to save your own life, and they were the aggressor and it's obvious, then I guess it's fair game. Now in the country I live in of the UK, that's all backwards anyway. I remember seeing an article on some sort of fairly old lady. I think she was like 60 or something, maybe 55, an older lady at least. And you got these burglars come in, and she like hit one of them with a baseball bat. But when he fell over, he hit his head on like a table or something. And then later on, I think he died, or he was severely, in severe medical disarray, like maybe had a broken skull or something, or maybe had some brain damage, or I don't know, something bad enough for it to get to court list. And they won, and she had to pay like compensation and stuff to them, or maybe she had to like serve prison. So like she's the one who got screwed over. Now I read this a long time ago, that's why all the details are a bit sketchy. But the bit that I remember because it was so backwards is that they won the case. And that's the thing. The problem is logic. It's some people just don't have a fucking clue how to process basic logic, and it's just like in this game. You should have the way it's very simple how it should work. If you have the claim blocks, you claim an area and then you build on it, just like you would in real life. If you want to build on something, you find some land, you purchase the land, you then build on the land. You don't find some land, start building shit, and then tell everyone to fuck off. That's just not how it works. But that's how it works on this server. The way it works on this server is you place some blocks and then you own it. Now, this is claimed. I have prior video as to where this isn't claimed, and so I'm not just making stuff up. I've got proof. But right now, you've got it where... Now, Solomon's alright, but he wasn't here originally. Right? So this was the original guy, the UVU guy. And he claimed an insignificant tiny bit in the middle. Now he's built extra garbage since, but a lot of this wasn't here before. But what I'm saying is, generally, this fucking plat is fucking empty. It's just fuck all here. It is so empty, it's incredible. Now, right now, he appears to have claimed a lot of it, as well as Solid Gunman. But this is an appropriate sized plat, which is completely unclaimed by the looks of it. That's very interesting. I might have that, because it's 25 blocks away, I think. So that's about 14. That's another 10. Yeah, so that's about 25 blocks away. So I might clear. Actually, I'm going to do that now. Slash home loot. Because I do deserve one. Because I've been scammed out of so many jungle M's, it's incredible. Ah, so there is a club. But you see, this is the shit that annoys me. He's made this plat this size, and he's only claimed what an eighth. If you put that in a corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, you could probably fit about 6 to 8 of those in this plat. So he's claimed this tiny square in the middle, which therefore means he now owns the whole thing. Now this one isn't too bad, okay, because this is a fairly small plat. Still pisses me off, but it's fairly insignificant, okay? Let's just see this den, if it's a good one. I know it's pretty garbage, but I'll do it anyway. Well, that's a Pokemon I think I need, you know. Oh no, I don't know, man. I really hope I didn't need it. No, I didn't. Cool. My Dex is like so close to being finished, so that's definitely interesting. I'm easily distracted, aren't I? Oh shit, I got a title bill. Pretty epic. You can get a Lugia from that, so it's pretty good. Let's put that up here for safekeeping. So yeah, so they've now effectively gotten something significantly bigger than they had the resources for. Now, again, like I said, this plat is fairly a fair size, and this was made, at least as far as I'm aware, before that plat. Okay, but look at how big this is. They've made it this fucking big. You can see on the minimap there, absolutely giant. It barely fits the minimap, and this minimap's big. Each one of those little squares is a chunk, right? So let me just count real quick. So it's what, but I'm not going to count the half. Well, actually, I'll count the half one as because that end one, the left-hand side end, is matches up to the right-hand side roughly. But so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 chunks wide. Probably it looks about to be about 20, maybe 18 chunks high. Okay, so you've got this absolutely jumbo fuck off plat, and then it means that nobody else can have it, because even if they only claimed like a tiny amount, right, which is originally what they did, they just claimed like a little bit on the middle, just like that other guy, but the same amount of size, not comparatively. So they didn't do a sixth of this like that guy did a sixth of that. They just did the same amount that he did, but for this big, right? And then that means it doesn't matter where else you claim. And that's originally what I did, and I claimed somewhere else because You know, there's a limited amount of Jungle M available, and I wanted a piece of it. And he's come on, he's built this, and even more hilarious, he didn't even build the whole thing. I found out there was 3 people who built this plat, which you can believe because it's big and it takes a lot of time. So he's got 3 people building this plat. He was the only one who had the claim at the time. Somebody else gave me permission to claim, and TP'd me to this big to begin with. Okay, and then it got removed. So you've got something that technically nobody owns because there's no claim blocks. But even if you follow the rules of he owns it because he's claimed a little bit of it, doesn't even make that doesn't make sense because he hasn't built the whole thing. It's not his build if he hasn't built the whole thing. Multiple people built it. If multiple people build it, okay, then it doesn't work anymore. That whole system breaks down because now who owns what bit of it? Do you find out exactly who placed what block where and then do it like that? In which case, it's so hazy. So anyway, I claimed a bit, and it got staff involved and everything, and the staff sided with him. And it's backwards. It don't matter. I'm there with conclusive, absolute, just solid logic, and it boggles the mind because apparently it's invalid. So I thought it was actually just a bit missing something. I don't know. Just thought I'd check it out, but yeah, it boggles the mind. Instead of having just a reasonable size, like look, this guy, if he wants to get a Mew to spawn, oh look, this guy's being really nice about it. Look at that. He's claimed the whole thing like he should do. That's how you properly do it. So he owns this plat. That's fine. He's built it. He's claimed it. He owns it. That's how you should do it. And it's a respectable size. If you're here and you want a Mew to spawn, it'll spawn near here. You don't need this size. Now, if he had this size and he claimed all of it and he built on it or whatever, you do you. If you've got the claim blocks, right, you can have something this size. I don't actually. The bit that I'm not actually getting cross at the fact that he's got something this size. Just to be super clear. Okay. The bit that I'm cross at is him not having the resources for it. So if I do, let's say I do /p warp. I can't remember. Yeah, this is a good example. So this here, look at this. So there's a player who's claimed all of this. Now multiple people have got claims on this. So here, look, Cyber Sniper's got a claim there. And if we go over here, it'll probably be like somebody else. Oh no, actually, maybe here. Okay, he's claimed a lot of this. Maybe this bit. Yeah, Lord Peach has claimed this bit. And then you've got... maybe someone else has claimed this bit. I don't know. This bit, perhaps? Oh, no one's claimed this bit at all, apparently. But anyway, you get the idea. I think there's about 3 claims I managed to find on this. So multiple people claim it, and they've claimed their respective bits. Which is fine, so it's clear. So multiple people have built it, multiple people have claims, but it works. But this entire thing is pretty much claimed. Obviously, I found a little bit there where it wasn't claimed. Okay, maybe they've just forgotten about it or whatever. But what they haven't done is made this big fuck off thing and then not claimed it all. They went, we want to build this big fuck off thing. We'll build this big plat. We'll claim it. We'll build on it. This is a build. This is what I'd class as a build. And it's fair, but they've claimed it, so they deserve it. There's nothing wrong with having a big fuck off build. But having a big fuck off build when you don't claim shit is a problem. And it just fucking angers me. There's just no need for it. Like I have what? 45,000 claim blocks. I've got a fair amount of claim blocks. Okay, but I don't even need. Like if we go here, this is my main thing. I've got a few other things that are minor, but if I do /home messer, I didn't make a plot here, but I was going to make a plot here. I can't remember. Did I? Oh, I didn't even claim anything here. This is new. Okay, well this wasn't here when I was here last time. So that's kind of strange. But anyway, I digress. So this is a plot. Now this is a shared plot, so it's a bit different. But this guy hasn't even claimed it, he just made it. Feel free to sell home, because he just made it for other people because he's nice. But this is for Pokemon spawning, so there's a reason for this. And it doesn't, you know, and it doesn't mind if somebody else claims it. So that's different. Or sets home on it. But yeah, if you make a plot and you only claim a tiny portion of it, you shouldn't own that entire plot. That's not how that should work. Because if I go online and I buy a little shed worth of land somewhere, and then basically just claim, oh yeah, I own the whole thing. I'm really explaining this bad right now because I'm tired. I have another video on it, and what I probably should do is put something together that's a bit more structured. But hopefully I've gotten enough of it across that people understand what I'm getting at. That you should only have what you should have the size as to what the amount of claim blocks you have. I have 45k claim blocks, so I can have a plot that's 45k big if I want to, because that's the claim blocks I have. If I want one that's 80k, then maybe I should make a 45k one and then expand it when I've got more claim blocks. That's what should occur. What shouldn't occur is I should just go, because one of the staff's argument is, well, somebody wanted to build this certain thing and he didn't have the claim blocks, so what was he supposed to do? And that's just the most retarded argument I've ever heard. That's like him going, well, this guy, he wanted a Ferrari, right? Right, but he just didn't have the money for it. So he took one anyway. It's you know, that sounds ridiculous, and it's because it is. If you don't have the money for a Ferrari, you don't get a Ferrari. It's tough tits. I don't have a Ferrari, and it's because I don't have the money to buy one. You know what I mean? So if you don't have it, you don't get it. That's just fucking how the world works, and that's how the rest of this game works. If I don't have the money for, you know, if I go on the /GTS, right, and I want to buy, I don't know, I want to buy this soup, okay. If I don't have 90k, I'm not getting that soup. That's just how that works. If you don't have the money, you don't get the shit. But this fucking particular guy's like, oh well, that's now that should work. It's just it don't matter when you've got solid logic. You just well, I want stuff and I don't want to have to pay for it. So anyway, the answer basically is either change how the rules work, because they're so backwards right now, it's incredible, or just stop issuing claim blocks to people. Just just allow people to claim infinitely. And he said that was ridiculous, but that's literally what he's allowing people to do right now anyway. Claim infinitely. Because even if you've got something that's unclaimed, as long as you built on it, you still own the shit on it. So if somebody accesses your chest and takes your stuff, you can still appeal it and say, oh yeah, somebody's taking my stuff. Now I don't even agree with that, so I don't think people should be taking people's stuff even if it's on something that's unclaimed. You know, just don't take other people's stuff is a good, you know, thing to live by. But you know what I mean? It's just stupid. It is just stupid. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm just rambling on about nonsense now and nobody really cares. So, but my God, it's retarded.